lights up the sky.
We almost lost there.
And we all will cheer.
They're singing.
Cause the simple pleasures seem to be the best ones with good friends.
No matter what road life brings us down, we may stumble, we may fall, but you know what? This is our life and this is our channel, and we just keep on keeping on.
All right. I know you're out there somewhere. I'm Daniel, citizen of the world, first time RTR.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. I'm not a gambler in the traditional sense, but I do make bets with my friends. And we don't deal in money. We wager embarrassments. And I won't get into the details of the most recent bet, but the deal was that if I win, he would have to win, the particular friend in this case would have to wear green lipstick and green eyeshadow for one day. And if he won, I would have to sign up for the RTR talent show. This is hilarious to him because he would say I have no talent. And I can't entirely disagree. I can't really dance or sing or play a musical instrument, though I have fantasized about taking up the theremin. But who hasn't, right? So I've been struggling to figure out what am I going to do, and I've decided to recite a poem for you. This poem was written a long time ago by a guy named Robert Frost, and it is surprisingly relevant still to this day. The poem is Mending Wall by Robert Frost. 1 dozen eggs. Wait a minute. No, sorry. Sorry.
1 dozen eggs. That is funny.
All right, I'll just have to do it from memory, I guess. It's only been about 30 years since I did this, so I should be fine. Okay. Mending Wall, Robert Frost. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen ground swell under it and spills the upper boulders in the sun and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair where they have left not one stone upon a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. Now, the gaps, I mean. No one has ever seen them made or heard them made, but each spring mending time, we find them there. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill, and on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go, to each the boulders that have fallen to each, and some are loaves, and some so nearly balls we have to use a spell to make them balance. Stay where you are until our backs are turned. We wear our fingers rough with handling them. Oh, just another kind of outdoor game, one on a side, it comes to little more. There where it is we do not need a wall. He is all pine and I am apple orchard. My apple trees will never reach across and steal the cones from under his pines, I tell him. He only says, good fences make good neighbors. Now, spring is the mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbors? Isn't it where there are cows? But here there are no cows. Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what it was I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not elves exactly, and I'd rather he said it for himself. I see him there, grasping a stone firmly by the top in each hand, like some old stone savage armed. He moves in darkness, as it seems to me, not of woods only and the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father's saying, and he likes having thought of it so well. He says again, good fences make good neighbors. The end.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so good.
was a lad in a fishing town. Old man said to me, you can spend your life, your jolly life, sailing on the sea. You can search the world for pretty girls till your eyes are weak and dim. But don't go swimming with a mermaid, son, if you don't know how to swim. 'Cause her hair's green as seaweed, and her skin is blue and pale, and her face, it is a work of art. You'll love that girl with all your heart. You only love the upper part, you will not like the tail. So I signed on to a whaling ship. My very first day at sea, I seen a mermaid in the waves, reaching out for me. Come swim with me in the sea, said she, down on the ocean's floor. I'm gonna show you a million wondrous things you never seen before. So over I jumped and she pulled me down to her seaweed bed, and a pillow made of tortoise shells she placed beneath my head. She fed me shrimps and caviar upon a silver dish. From her head to her waist she was just my taste, but the bottom part was fish. And her hair was green as seaweed, and her skin was blue and pale, and her face, it was a work of art. I loved that girl with all my heart. I only loved the upper part, and that's the tail. But then one day she swam away. I sang to the clams and the whales. I missed her fins and her seaweed hair, the silvery shine of her scales. Then her sister, she swam by, set my heart a-whirl, 'cause her upper part was an ugly fish, but the bottom part was girl. And her toes were pink and rosy, and her feet were blue and pale, and her legs, they were a work of art. I love that girl with all my heart. I don't give a damn about the upper part, and that's how I end my tale. Thank you.
One and one is two, two and two is four. Never loaded, baby, I'm barked, I've got to go, crying, baby. Honey, don't you want to go? Work with me over here, guys. I'm about to start singing a sensitive song. I need you to help me. Now that we've wrangled this unruly audience, oh, Roy took his pension after 30-some years. Machinist at Allied in Cleveland. Now he passes his days pretty much all the same. Maybe listens to the engines in the evenings, and he watches his options whittle down to a few, and his once wide horizons grow narrow. Oh, Roy went downtown, took a second on the house, and drove home in a brand new Pacero. Well, there's a cab over Roadstar with a Wrangler in tow, on the road 10 miles out of Sedona. 3 days ago they closed house in St. Paul, and tonight it's Southwest Arizona.
She's slower in rise, and sometimes she forgets, and what's left of his hair is gone white. But by anyone's measure, there's life in them yet, and they'll dance on the desert tonight. 'Cause up home where we come from, it's snowing, of course, but it's warm as a baby here in Quartzsite. And the rivers are frozen way back to their source. We'll dance on the desert tonight. Well, there's trees in the forest 1,000 years old, but they don't look no worse for the wear. The spirit's reluctant as the flesh, it grows weak, but if you look for it, it will be there. There's a bunch of old duffers with drums and guitars tuning up on an old plywood stage. We'll pull on our boots and our best western gear just to get out and act half our age. 'Cause up home where we come from, it's snowing, of course, but it's warm as a baby here in Quartzsite. And the rivers are frozen way back to their source. But we'll dance on the desert tonight. Margaret, you're a vision by the light of the stars, as we dance in God's open air ball. Many fine ladies have dazzled their men, but you may be the finest of all. And I ain't leaving none of these pages unfilled. Always felt like a rascal, I feel that way still. Stay with me, dear, up this one final hill, and we'll dance on the desert tonight. Thank you.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, healing me softly with his song.
Sundown. We'll let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine an ever-loving light on me. Yeah. Woo-hoo.
All right, let's hear it for Mike, everybody.
So when it's Friday night and the cupboard is bare, you look in your wallet and there's no money there. You open the fridge on a food expedition, there's a bunch of leftovers in edible condition. Mashed potatoes, tomatoes, and a slice of ham. Onions, garlic, and a candied yam. A little pad thai and General Tso chicken. We'll make a hopple popple that is skillet licking good.
Living by J. Edgar Guest, American poet. Misers think they're living, when they're hoarding up their gold. Soldiers call it living when they're doing something bold. But oh, the thing we call living is not gold or fame at all. It's friendship and sunshine. It's roses by the wall. It's evenings glad with music and a hearth fire that's ablaze. It's the joys that come to mortals in 1,000 different ways. It's laughter and contentment and the struggle for a goal. That's everything that's needful in the shaping of a soul living.
Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.